Hello and welcome back. Shortly I'll be playing you a clip from the Royal Society of Scientists that has been held here in London last week. The three major scientific backgrounds are astrophysicists, astronomy and biologists. All three of these scientific fields have got together to discuss the possibilities of life being in space. And the key word used to be if we ever found life in space, has definitely significantly changed to when we find life in space. Let's not forget, we've already found amino acids and RNA and small amounts of RNA and DNA on comets as they've flown over. So we really know that's the building blocks of life. So the chances of them being sort of bacterium, microorganisms, that type of level, we will definitely find in deeper space. The question is, what kind of life will we actually find? Will we find intelligent life forms like ourselves? I'm pretty sure we will. It's not really a big question anymore. It's just when we'll find it rather than if we will find it, as I said earlier. But it's going to be quite fascinating. It's almost going to be, I suppose, how chimpanzees look on it of their cousins, their humans, us. How they must look at us, and they probably can't comprehend how where we are. We're much more technically advanced than themselves. But it's probably going to be that kind of level. We are going to be finding ourselves looking at another planet that's probably about 3 or 4 billion years older than us, so they're much more technically advanced than ourselves, and we'll be looking in amazement, like it'd be a little like someone trying to teach astrophysics to a monkey or something, I suppose, that kind of level of intelligence, or quantum mathematics, or that kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, it's quite exciting, really. I know someone came to my channel recently and said to me about third dimension, aliens coming through portholes and abducting people and something. That sounds too Star Trekky for me, really. I asked them to bring it back to biology level. I mean, that sort of out of my sort of realm, really. It's I don't. Oh yes, I do believe there's life in space. Absolutely, but that kind of alien abductions, it's the same kind of, people being possessed by the demons and gods and stuff. It's the same kind of mentality. It's to do with our lower cranium. We're very susceptible. Humans are very susceptible, and I think chimpanzees are as well. They've had a similar kind of tests where we are susceptible to sort of myths and stories and fairy tales and those kind of fantasy worlds. It's part of our makeup, I'm afraid. That's who we are. But that's slightly digressing, I must admit. But anyway, I'll play this clip now from the Royal Society of Scientists, and I hope you enjoy. But as always, feel free to comment and rate. Thanks for watching. Loz.
You might think a conference entitled "Is There Anybody Out There That Worries About How We Should Handle First Contact with Alien Races" might be attended by some pretty strange individuals, possibly wearing a bit of silver latex and blue makeup. But no, the discovery in recent years of hundreds of planets orbiting far-off stars has brought the prospect of finding life elsewhere in the universe perhaps tantalisingly close. Maybe. Anyway, it's been organised by the Royal Society, no less, and attracted some of the leading figures from the fields of astronomy, astrophysics and biology, and our science correspondent Tom Fielden reports on progress in the search for extraterrestrial life.
So the point of my talk today will be basically to try to convince you that we're on the verge of finding out how frequently habitable planets occur in the universe.
The astrophysicist and author of The Crowded Universe, Dr. Alan Boss, who surprised many at the American Association for the Advancement of Science's annual meeting in Chicago last year with a claim that there are almost certainly billions of habitable planets in our galaxy alone.
Most solar-type stars are going to have something Earth-like, and a good fraction of those planets will be habitable, that is, orbiting from their star at a distance where liquid water could exist at or near the surface.
Boss based his calculation on mathematical modelling of the processes of planetary formation, something astronomers are confident they understand well, and then by multiplying by the number of sun-like stars. That's quite a leap. But the point is, even if he's way off, with hundreds of billions of stars to choose from, the chances are still high.
T-minus 10, 9.
Even only 20 years ago, we discovered no extrasolar planets. Today, thanks to ground-based observations and missions like Kepler, that number stands at 424.
And liftoff of the Delta II rocket with Kepler on a search for planets in some way like our own.
Whether there will be life, even on Earth-like planets, is of course still an open question. But it's incredible how quickly the debate has moved on. Today's conference is not so much about if there's life elsewhere in the universe, but how to deal with its discovery. Professor John Zanecki.
We're pretty certain now that there are environments where life could exist. So we can make that assumption and think about what it means for us, what it means for society, what it means for religion.
Already, thoughts are turning to what that life might look like. Most agree the discovery of some sort of primitive bacterial goo is much more likely than walking, talking aliens.
So if life is a replicating form of whatever it may be, there's going to be competition.
But whatever form it takes, geneticist Sean B. Carroll believes it'll have Charles Darwin's fingerprints all over it.
And the competition's going to be won by those that are the fittest, and Darwinian principles should apply.
Some things, it seems, death, taxes, evolution by natural selection, are simply universal.